United States, he doesn't give me anything additional or takes anything
Most crewmen
from my qualifications.
I'm
Working.
Now it's essential videos
in the hotel, right? Because this has been on my mind for a long time, working in the Navy. But I understand
it's a large
amount of this war degrading the crew and stuff. You go on cruise ships every year.
Hi, Tam here. A lot of passengers and potential crew members are wondering and are a bit confused about the categorization of crew members. Like some passengers will hear that, oh, this is for crew only, and this is for officers only, or this applies to staff only. And sometimes they wonder, and I've been asked before, what's the difference between a staff and a crew and an officer? Aren't you all crew members? So if you're on a cruise ship of say 1,000 crew members, every employee on board that ship is a crew member. So that's the first categorization, right? So you've got the passengers on the one hand and the crew on the other. But among the crew, yes, from the captain of the vessel to the lowest rank crew, we are all crew members. But among each other, there is hierarchy. And so this is how it works. In almost all cruise lines, you have a categorization of crew in terms of officers, staff, and crew. You will find that officers are wearing an officer's uniform. So all officers are required to wear a Navy officer's uniform with stripes. The more the stripes, the higher your rank. Then you have the staff. Staff members do not wear officers' uniforms because they are staff. Those would be members of the entertainment department, the casino department, the photography department, the art gallery department. All those do not wear an officer's uniform. They are staff. As staff members, they have privileges that crew do not have. And then the last category of crew after officers and staff is crew. And those are usually the cabin stewards, the waiters, the assistant waiters. It's the biggest population of crew. So these three categories of crew becomes important when it comes to crew privileges. The privileges of crew is directly related to your categorization. For instance, the majority of cruise lines have what they call the crew mess, where any crew member can go and eat. And then above that, you have the staff mess. In the staff mess, those who are crew only are not allowed to go and eat there. It's for staff and officers. And then above that, we have the officers' mess. Only officers are allowed in the officers' mess. Staff and crew are not allowed to go in there. And then above that, you have the senior officers' mess. Some cruise lines will call it the senior officers' mess. Others will call it the captain's mess. Others will call it the captain's table. And that's for the most senior officers on board. There is a difference in food quality depending on which mess you go to. The food in the staff mess is better than in the crew mess. The food in the officers' mess is better than in the staff mess. and the food in the senior officers' mess, the captain's table, is the best. When it comes to guest privileges, as they are called, again, it depends on where you stand in the hierarchy of the cruise ship. If you are an officer, you have access to all the restaurants on board, the nightclub, the bars, the open deck areas. You can go and if you have some free time, lay on the deck and get some sun, if that's your thing. If you're a staff member, again, you have access to all the guest areas, the nightclub, the restaurants. If you're a crew, unfortunately, you will not be allowed to hang around in the guest areas. You will not be allowed to go to the nightclub, go eat in the various guest restaurants. If you are a regular crew, you're not allowed in the guest gym before certain hours. Usually they would say crew can only access the guest gym after 10 p.m. If you staff an officer, you can go to the gym whenever you want, and so on and so forth. So you see, this is so that's why you've got this categorization of crew. You being a crew or a staff or an officer will affect your quality of life on board. Even when it comes to accommodation, the more senior you are of an officer, the larger and more spacious your cabin is. As a staff, you will share a cabin with somebody else. It will be a double occupancy cabin. But your cabin will be more comfortable than a crew who will share a cabin, but that cabin will be less comfortable, smaller, and probably sometimes you will find that, as a crew, you will be in a double occupancy cabin, but you're sharing the bathroom, your shower and toilet. You have the cabin next to you. So one bathroom, shower, toilet, shared by two cabins, 4 people. Right. So basically that's it. That's the organizational hierarchy between crew, staff, and officers. We are all crew members, we are all equal, but as the saying goes, some people are more equal than others. Cheers.
Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video till the end. If you've liked this video, please leave me a like. If you have any comments, leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave a question. I'll answer you. Don't forget to subscribe. My goal is to now get to 600 subscribers by the end of the month.